Hey y'all, this is the Kobe Bryant Film Room. You're now rocking with the Behind the Bench Sports Network. And shout out to the bench crew, man. Rashad, Kelvin, Big Dog Talk Sports, and JB. Also, guys, like and subscribe to the page and share our content. So I wanted to get into this topic of using intellect versus trusting experts, right? And this topic's important to me because I see a lot of propaganda being spread, and there's a lot of good information and bad information on social media. And so the thing is, guys, that like what we got to do is we got to understand that the world is full of information. You know, we live in the digital age where information spreads fast, right? Uh, we also live in a corporate society to where the truth doesn't make much money. So I want you guys to stop and trust your instincts, trust yourself, think about what you're hearing versus what you're seeing, right? What you're hearing has to reflect what you see. This is the whole reason why I started the Kobe Bryant Film Room and the Michael Jordan Film Room, was because I heard a lot of narratives, right? And the way we can cut through that is through film, right? The way we cut through what people are saying is we show the footage, right? You're saying this, okay, let's see if it's true. Let's see if it's true, right? On paper, numbers look great, right? But let's actually see it in practice. And that's what that's what it is, right? When you do it, when you conduct a scientific experiment, you see all these equations and things like that, which will look good, but let's see if it actually works. Let's test it and see if it actually works, right? And you've got a lot of people giving their expert opinion on things, right? And I'm not saying don't trust the experts. What I'm saying is you always got to verify what the experts are saying. You can research something and have a basic fundamental knowledge of the particular topic and have enough of that knowledge to argue a point. You don't have to know everything about a subject to debate with an expert, right? But what you do have to do is be well-rounded in the basics, right? Now, I want you guys to understand what I said, right? Because a lot of experts like to use their opinion, and that's a logical fallacy, right? A lot of experts like to use their expert opinion to shut people up, right? And now you guys, that doesn't mean you're wrong. You know what I mean? Just because somebody says, "Oh, I used to do this," or I did this," but look, things are political. Like, people got to understand this. People are like, "Oh, well, you got to trust the experts, trust the science, and all this other stuff." Things can be political, right? People can be biased, right? Um, and a lot of times we are too trusting as a society into people who appear like their authority, right? And and I want us to think about that because we are in a battle, y'all, of a propaganda I have never seen before in my life. But how do you get through it? See, I think a lot of people have to understand how to navigate through it, right? You hear something, right? Test it. Let's see if it's true. Hey, yo, look that up. Even if it's going to take you some time to do this. This is not for lazy people, right? Okay, Nick Wright said this. Let's test it. Let's see if it's actually true. And then once you actually do that, you see how many times this dude is lying, right? You actually see how many times this dude is lying, and it's actually scary. I caught him lying over 30 times in under a minute. Uh, it just spits out lies, right? We see propaganda and like the media, right? Paul Pierce went on Skip Bayless's show, Undisputed, and he was saying, "Hey, this is what the Lakers need to win. This is what LeBron needs to do for the Lakers to win." And we've been saying that on Behind the Bench Sports Network, right? And then this whole thing comes out about people going at Paul Pierce. I'm like, dude, content creators been saying this dude need to come off the ball. This is how they're gonna win. More is less sometimes. You see, when Michael Jordan was playing with the Bulls, he was destroying. He was on his way to destroy record books. But what did Phil do? Phil got him to buy into a system and move the ball around, right? Come off the ball, right? So his teammates could get involved. Go watch the Bulls, right? Same thing with Kobe, right? This is a winning formula. Got to get your guys involved the first and the second quarter. And you got to take over. Then after that, you could take over in the third and the fourth, right? That he had a handshake agreement with those guys, right? Now, I just did a video, as you can see, of a prime example of that on my channel right now, called T-Mac versus Kobe, right? The War of 2004, right? Y'all go check that out, man. To me, I think it's a great video to watch and see that process of Kobe waiting till it was his time and his time to take over the offense and doing exactly what I just stated. But I want you guys to know the difference between propaganda. See, I'll give you an example. When somebody says this person makes their teammates better, right? You hear that, it sounds great because everybody's enjoying themselves. It looks like they're enjoying themselves. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's having fun, right? But then everybody points out how bad each teammate is, right? That doesn't make sense. So logically, in your mind, you should say, okay, that's one situation. But if this person keeps going to different situations and those players thrive on a different team, then how does this person make his teammates better? See, that's a media narrative. And that's what we're trying to navigate through, guys. And you can see this if you're objective. You know, of course, objective people, they're never going to admit these things, right? These people who aren't objective are never going to admit these things, right? Media narrative. And those narratives fall apart when they're put to the test. When they said the Lakers were a playoff contender, right? What's the truth, right? The propaganda was this team was as good as they said they were. That was the propaganda, right? The truth is they're a bad team. They can't win on the road, right? That's the truth. The truth is they got more free throws than anybody in the league, but they're not winning. They don't even have a winning record. So then you got to ask yourself, where would they be without the free throws? And this ain't to hate or anything. This is the truth. This is to get you guys through the propaganda. You always got to test, for you young people out there. You always got to sit back and say, what's the result of what they said? The result of what they said is bullshit, right? When they say that AD, it's AD's fault they lost, in your mind, you should immediately look at how many shots AD took, because that'll let you know, okay, he's not getting the opportunity to succeed. These other guys aren't getting the opportunity to succeed. How many shots did they take compared to another player? So the other player's taking a lot of the shots, and then they're not winning. It'd be different if they were winning, but then they're not winning. Then what does that tell you? Right? When you hear somebody say this person's the most unselfish player, right? But this person's constantly throwing his teammates under the bus, throwing his coach under the bus, playing the blame game on everybody, praising his own individual success over the team. What is selfishness? Because I heard Kobe was selfish. But Kobe was winning games and Kobe made the playoffs when they said he was selfish. You see, it's a double standard. It's a propaganda machine to praise one man. And we have to navigate through this, and we have to make a stand, because you have so-called experts who are biased, right? Who are paid off, who are operatives. And we have to start seeing through this stuff, right? Because there's gonna come a world where your kids are gonna come up and your kids are gonna be lied to, right? In the next generation. And then so on and so forth. So now the whole history is a damn lie. Just because these people wanted to push a product. They don't care about your well-being. We do. I don't make a dime off of any of my videos from the Kobe Bryant film room or the Michael Jordan film room. I don't make a fucking dime. Not 1 cent. And I make my videos in a certain way to get my point across and to educate people, because I care about people. I really do care about each and every one of y'all. And I really do want you guys to succeed. You know, a narrative is what they did to Kyrie Irving. They painted him as somebody who couldn't be worked with, somebody that people hated. What did his teammates say? Teammates said they love him. He's a leader. They love him. He got to Dallas, no issues, right? He's a selfish guy, but yet he's donating money to the WNBA, right? Helping build their league. Donating money to people whose families are suffering, right? Helping people. These are the people they want us to turn on. The good people, right? What about Russell Westbrook? He was selfish. This man took a backseat role. This dude's a Hall of Famer. All his family members say he's very unselfish. All of his teammates, as far as what we know, say he's a great teammate. What did the media say? The media say he was selfish. Right? You got to take a look at these things, man. The media said D'Lo was no good. They went down the line blaming teammates. Now D'Lo is the reason why the Lakers are winning a lot of the games, or even in the play-in discussion. But they completely threw him under the bus. Right? And so you have to take a look at these things, right? Paul Pierce brought up an excellent point the other day. Does Darvin Ham even have any power? Because I read an article a while back about David Blatt trying to run a practice, and LeBron James came in there and took over the took over the team and did what he wanted to do. Right? How much power do these coaches have? What are you going to tell them? Like Paul Pierce said, what are you going to tell LeBron? Come off the rock if you're a teammate. What are you going to tell him? And so, are these guys set up for failure? That's what you got to ask yourself. Like, what is this guy's role when we have a basketball conversation? We have a real basketball conversation, right? What do you expect from this role player? Right? If anything, this role player has overachieved. And if you're going to call him a star, if he's going to go from a role player to a star, then he has to have more looks. He has to get more credit, right? That's the way things are supposed to go, right? So D'Lo is a former all-star. He's playing like a all-star caliber player, right? Doesn't get as much credit as I think he should get, and not being utilized the way I think he should have been utilized. These are the experts. The experts are telling you that LeBron looks great. Yeah, he does. How does the team look? And we're just talking about reality, you guys. Just talking about reality. Because I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm just tired of the propaganda at this point. Do I want us to win? Yeah. I want us to win the right way, though. I want us to be successful long term. right? I call out what I see. I always did that. And we have an uphill battle now. We have an uphill battle because a lot of these kids are buying into propaganda. But I don't even think, now that I think about it, I don't even think it's a lot of people who believe the propaganda. I think some people are bots. I think some of these accounts are bots. But um, yeah, I don't think anybody's believing the narrative. But you do have impressionable young children, young kids, who are believing this stuff, right? Painting them a picture of perfection, you know. And I just want to say, how do you navigate through that? How do you find the truth? You put the truth through the test and you say, okay, well, what are the examples of all this? Or how many of the examples that favor your argument versus the examples that don't favor your argument? When I said the Lakers weren't a good team based on their defense, I was called a hater. You hate LeBron, you hate the Lakers, you're here to divide us. I was accused of a lot of things. No, I've been watching basketball for a long time. I played basketball. I know what I'm watching. I know what I'm watching. I know when dudes are missing defensive assignments and there's no communication on the floor. I know what that looks like. And so I can't be fooled like a lot of you guys in our audience. A lot of you guys are very smart and intelligent. That's why you listen to us. That's why you're subscribed, because you guys are smart too. And a lot of times you guys pick up on things that we don't pick on or pick up, right? You guys pick up on stuff that we don't pick up on sometimes. And you guys correct us sometimes when we're wrong. That is an environment of education. That's a positive environment to where we can have a basketball discussion without all the extra stuff, right? Without all the cheerleading, right? And we could just talk ball, get back to basketball. We don't need to play the blame game to talk about how great Kobe and Mike are. We don't need the blame game. The game speaks for itself. And so I just wanted to do this video on propaganda, bro. When somebody has a grip on your mind, you can't see anything, right? There's this term called a mass psychosis, which I think society is under, because society doesn't even know what's real anymore. We don't know what's real anymore. We have dumb arguments. We have really dumb arguments, in my opinion. And I'm not even going to get into the political stuff, but you guys who know what I'm insinuating know what I'm insinuating. We have really dumb arguments in society that are cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? And people being under that psychosis, they do not. Some of people are so confused. They're so confused because they're so busy getting junk information. And sometimes, listen, you can get propaganda from your universities. So don't think because you went to school that you're not susceptible to propaganda. Matter of fact, you're probably more susceptible to propaganda. Not saying everybody who go to school is, because listen, school is a great thing. But you could be a victim of propaganda going to school. You can be indoctrinated, right? So you always got to remember, don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself in all this education and all this poking your chest out, or I'm this, giving yourself titles. I'm this, I'm that, and or either respecting other people's titles. Yeah, you could debate a lawyer on the law. Just because that lawyer knows the law doesn't mean that lawyer is right. You feel what I'm saying? Just because a doctor went to med school for 4 years doesn't mean you can't debate the doctor on health. If you know certain facts about health, facts are facts. The truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about the food, natural, there's natural healing, right? You could debate off that. Yeah. Yeah, there's things that you can see that works in your life naturally if you don't take that much medicine and you heal yourself naturally, right? That can cure you. Don't buy into the narratives. There's a narrative that kills people that I'm just going to give you guys an example before I get off here. People on high blood pressure. Yeah, you can eat what you want as long as you take your pills. That's a narrative because guess what? The people end up dying. The people who listen to these authority figures, right? You have to change the way you eat, right? That's the truth. But what do people get mad? Because they want to, people get mad at you for telling them the truth because they want to eat whatever they want. Just like back in the day, the government was saying that cigarettes were healthy. They didn't cause any health problems. Then people got lung cancer who was smoking, who believed in that stuff. Why? Because they didn't use their own mind. When you smoke something and you burn the end of it, you're changing the chemical composition of what you're smoking. What you're inhaling smoke. Can't be good for you. Right? You're lighting something up and then you're inhaling it. That can't be good for you. That's just people who use common sense are going to preserve their own lives, right? Are going to live a prosperous life. And we have to get back to common sense. This is only for the logical. The illogical, y'all can check out and walk through the back door. But this conversation is fully logical. And hopefully I reach some of you people out there. Hopefully this touches some of you out there. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. But this is the Kobe Bryant Film Room, man. Watch out for that propaganda, bro. Right? Nobody could tell you what your eyes see. Nobody could tell you what your ears hear. This is Kobe Bryant Film Room. I'm out.